Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the National Outlaw Racing Association. I've been talking about it for a couple weeks. We've had some big things in the works, and this is it. The Rebel Racing Network has met the National Outlaw Racing Association, and we are bringing their Cup Series live to you on Sunday nights for their inaugural 13-week season. And some more big news, we're also going to be broadcasting their ARCA series on Monday nights as well. We are glad to have you here, and we are coming to you live from the virtual Kansas Motor Speedway located in Kansas City, Kansas. That's a lot of Kansases. A 1.5 mile oval where these drivers are going to compete for 100 laps tonight. The weather tonight is clear. We have a temperature of 78 degrees, and the track temperature is only 79 degrees, so not much difference there between the air temperature and the track temperature. Relatively cool. Should be some great driving conditions for these drivers as they get ready to start their qualifying runs. So tonight's rules for the race, these drivers are going to be given 4 sets of tires, 100% fuel, and 1 quick repair. So once again, that 4 sets of tires, they have the set of tires that is on the car currently, and then they're going to have 3 sets in the pits. We see Chris Evans taking the track for his qualifying run. This is exciting. We're going to see a bunch of new faces. We currently have, I believe, 12 drivers registered for this session. This is not a points race. This is their version of the shootout, the clash at the Coliseum, the pre-race or preseason race. All right, some drivers putting down some times now. Chris Evans, the one we're watching, just set the fastest lap. He just got beat out by Seth LaCroix. I'm going to have to apologize. I'm going to have to ask him on the pronunciation of that after the race. Like I said, some new faces here on the Rebel Racing Network. I've got a whole nother set of names to learn, and we're going to be working on that. We're now looking at the 17 of Joshua Edmonds as he is on his second qualifying lap of the night. And right now he's going to be rolling off 5th. Take a look at Joshua Whiteman in the 24 car as he starts his second qualifying lap. LaCroix, I appreciate it, Seth. I knew I was gonna get that name. I knew I was gonna get the pronunciation wrong on that. So I appreciate you correcting me, and thank you for tuning in. Nice lap, by the way, Seth. Sitting on the pole right now. And Josh Reitman in that 24 car, the one we're watching, he qualifies 8th. Looks like just about everyone has qualified. As these drivers finish up their qualifying runs, we're going to take you down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by URA Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able. Remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, and a big thank you to Oorah Flyovers for that opening ceremony. Make sure you go check them out on Facebook. If you were looking for flyovers for your league, for your broadcast, shoot them a message uh, and get in contact with them. Looks like everyone has now completed their qualifying runs. We're going to see who is in Discord, see if we can talk to some of these drivers, get to know some of these guys before the race starts. And we're going to try and talk to Chris Evans. Hey, Chris, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yeah, copy.
All right. We are here broadcasting in your inaugural race for the National Outlaw Racing Association Cup Series. You are currently sitting on the outside pole in second. What do you think is going to be the key for you tonight to put that car in victory lane?
Really, hopefully in the short runs I have some speed, but also the long run. I have a feeling a couple long runs coming up, so a
Yeah.
small field, but I guess when the outside really comes in, that'll be play my favor.
Yes, we'll be watching that. And I see you're from Halifax, Nova Scotia. So
Yep.
we're just trying to get learn a little bit about the drivers because we've got a lot of new faces here on the network. So give us a little bit of background on yourself.
No, I was just help build race. Well, help build race cars with my cousin here in Halifax. We have he built a Logic car. He sold one, built another one. So he's gonna race this year, hopefully, and just love iRacing, really. A lot of fun. Gives me the chance to race without actually racing. Cheaper.
Yes, definitely cheaper, no torn up cars. But I appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us before the race, and maybe we'll be talking to you after the race.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, good luck tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Once again, that was Chris Evans, driver of the number 23. And I'm seeing some people hop into Discord now as well. I think they've got the stream tuned in and looking for their interview. Let's go ahead and talk to Seth LaCroix, our pole sitter tonight.
Just stop over there. Might as well.
Hey, Seth, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, I appreciate you correcting me on the pronunciation of your name in the chat. You were going to be rolling off first tonight. What's going to be your key to put the car in victory lane?
Go fast, turn left.
All right, not wanting to give us too much information. It is a 100-lap race, so some strategy is probably going to take, going to be necessary tonight. So we're just going through because we've got a lot of new faces here on the network. So give us a little bit of background on you, Seth.
Well, a 35-year-old living in Texas, truck driver, my day trade, and Got me and this number 17 car, Josh Edmonds, grew up racing NASCAR Thunder, probably NASCAR Thunder, was it 03, I want to say, and we've been racing since, really. So recently got an iRacing not that long ago.
All right. Well, I'd say, you've got some skill for iRacing, already taking the pole, but we're going to let you get back down to the track as they are starting to grid up.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, buddy. All right. Once again, that was Seth LaCroix. I'm probably going to butcher it a few more times. Our pole sitter tonight. We will be keeping an eye on him all night tonight. The cars are gridded up. Looks like almost everyone is on track. We're going to get ready to take you through our starting lineup. All right, in first place, we have our pole sitter, Seth LaCroix. In second place, we're going to have the 23 of Chris Evans. Third place, we have Joseph Truskowski. I hope I pronounced that right, Joseph. Starting his outside in fourth place, we're going to have the 20 of Byron Gay. In fifth place will be Samuel Reed in that 56 car. Sixth place, Joshua Edmonds in the 17 car. Rolling off seventh will be Jonathan Dominics. I hope I pronounced that one right as well, in the 45 car. Eighth place will be the 4 of Tyler Street. Ninth place will be the 19 of Scott Leonard. In 10th place, we have the 24 of Joshua Whiteman. 11th will be Chris Jones in the 33 car. 12th will be Christopher Foote in the 21 car. And 13th will be Terrell Wheeler in the 43 car. All right, the drivers have now taken the track for their one pace lap. The pace car is off. The green flag is out. The inaugural race is underway as they come down the front stretch. Seth LaCroix gets a great start there. Jumps out to an early lead. No competition for him. 42 of Joseph Truskowski working at the inside of Chris Evans now. Chris Evans stuck up on that high side. Joseph Truskowski is going to complete the pass. Now the 20 and the 56, Byron Gay and Samuel Reed look working to the inside of Chris Evans. Chris is dropping fast. Chris now working his way to the low side, trying to get some of his track position back. He's now working to the inside of 20, Byron Gay. Ooh, some contact made. He saves it, but loses a lot of track position. That's going to knock Chris back to 9th. We're looking at the battle for first. Seth LaCroix jumped out to an early lead. Joseph Truskowski is not letting him drive away from the pack, though. And the yellow flag is out. Looks like Scott Leonard and Christopher Foote involved in that. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened. All right. It looks like he was already. That is the 19 of Scott Leonard. Looks like he was sideways. We're going to back this up. See what happened. Ooh, some contact made. He ends up in the wall, comes back down the track, takes out the 21. Some early contact for Scott Leonard. And we're going to step aside for a word from our sponsors.
Charlotte residents know how brutal Florida summers can be, and no one wants to spend their weekends mowing and edging in that heat. That's where Port Charlotte Lawn Care comes in. They offer reliable, professional lawn care services, mowing, trimming, edging, and blowing, to keep yards looking sharp and stress-free week after week. No contracts, no nonsense, just dependable service from a team that takes pride in every lawn they service. For a yard that's clean, green, and ready to enjoy, trust the pros at Port Charlotte Lawn Care. Call Port Charlotte Lawn Care today for a free quote, serving the greater Port Charlotte area. Port Charlotte Lawn Care, where your lawn is their pride.
All right, and we are back. We are looking at the 23 of Chris Evans just leaving pit road. He was involved in that accident. Looks like he may have taken some damage. But he heads down pit road to get that fender bent back out, and he's going to try and drive his way back up to the front. So some early struggles tonight for Chris Evans. Now, this being the first race of the National Outlaw Racing Association Cup Series, the inaugural race, I got to think a lot of these guys are not used to racing around each other. So that is going to lead to some struggles early on in the season. We've still got Scott Leonard in the pits. I believe he took some major damage there. I'm not sure if he's saving his... I believe he's going to save his quick repair for later on in the race. And this is a 100-lap race, so probably going to need that later on. But they are doubled up on track. The lights on the pace car are out. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing. Seth LaCroix still in control of this one. Joseph Truskowski now in second. Byron Gay in third. Joshua Edmonds in fourth. And Samuel Reed will round out your top five for this restart. Scott Leonard now exiting the pits. He's going to race around to try and catch the pack before the green flag flies. The pace car is off. The green flag is out. They come down to the restart zone. Seth LaCroix gets a great restart there. Joseph Truskowski jumps down low really quickly, falls in line behind Joseph. He's got the 20 of Byron Gay looking to try and make a run on the inside. He's not going to let him there. And we have Joseph Truskowski to the inside of Seth LaCroix now. Early battle for the lead. Seth LaCroix going to make that high side work for him. Pulls out to a 0.2 of a second gap over that 42 of Joseph Truskowski. Joseph now having to deal with Byron Gay in that 20 car. Byron's going to go by him on the outside. He now moves up to the outside in front of the 17 of Josh Edmonds. Single file racing, and we've got the 56 of Samuel Reed being challenged by the 45 of Jonathan Dominics. Jonathan trying to make that inside line work for him. It's not going to work, and he's going to lose a lot of track position. And fall in line behind Samuel Reed. Our biggest mover of the race so far is the 43 of Terrell Wheeler. He is up 6 positions, now up to 7th since the race started. We've got a battle going on for second again. Joseph Truskowski now on the inside of Byron Gay in that 20 car. Byron's going to clear him. Now the 17 of Joshua Edmonds going to move to Joseph's outside. Joseph trying to make that inside line work for him. It is just not working tonight. The outside is where you want to be. Joseph now going to drop back to 5th. He's going to hop up and back in line. So now it looks like everyone's got their track position sorted out. We're single file racing at the moment. That's 17 of Joshua Edmonds trying to close the gap on the 20 of Byron Gay, though. Joshua Edmonds really high through that corner. I think he may have made a little bit of contact with the wall there. So we talked about it in the pre-race interviews. Yeah, they were talking about that high line coming in. They did not have to wait long for that high line to come in. That high line is where you want to be right now. So everyone has spaced out, but we've got a battle going for second. These guys are really tight together. 17 makes contact with that outside wall again. The 56, that's going to allow the 56 to get underneath them. That contact did not slow him down enough to let the 56 go by, though. And we're looking at the 23 of Chris Evans now. He started second, had some troubles early on, now working his way back up to 7th. He just picked off Terrell Wheeler, and Josh Whiteman also going by Terrell Wheeler. I think he got him on the low side there. So Josh Whiteman making the low side work for him. Terrell Wheeler now trying to get back by Josh Whiteman on the low side. That's not going to work for him. Josh is going to drive away, but that has also opened up the door for Tyler Street in the 4 car to get to the outside of Terrell. And he's going to complete the pass on Wheeler. looks like the battle for up front is heating back up again. We've got Joshua Edmonds looking to the inside. Or I'm sorry, Joshua Edmonds being challenged to the inside by Samuel Reed in that 56. Samuel Reed trying to make the inside work for him. That opened up the door for the 42 of Joseph Truskowski to get by him on the outside. I believe they are approaching some lap traffic. We're going back to look at Joshua Edmonds again. It looks like he made contact yet again with the outside wall. We see Seth LaCroix now worked his way out to a second gap over second place Byron Gay. Seth firmly in control of this race for the first 20 laps. Joseph Truskowski now working his way back up to second. He's making that inside line work for him. Not giving the 20 of Byron Gay very much room. Byron Gay touches the wall, slows him down just a little bit, just enough to let Joseph by. We now have a battle shaping up for fourth. Joshua Edmonds had closed the gap on Samuel Reed. Samuel takes off on him, though. We've seen Joshua be fast, but he has made contact with that outside wall quite a few times. Outside line is fast, but one mistake and you're on the wall and getting slowed down by the contact. We're seeing Jonathan Dominics approaching these two, looking to throw his hat in the ring. He got a great entry to that turn. Gets to the inside of Joshua Edmonds in that 17. Now working on the inside of the 56 of Samuel Reed. He's going to complete the pass there. I think Samuel Reed has used up his tires. Trying to hold off the 17 of Joshua Edmonds. We see Chris Evans now looking to the inside. Samuel Reed and Joshua Edmonds, we've seen them, close proximity to each other all night. Not quite a battle, but I think they're just holding each other off. Racing it hard, and they burned up their tires as they start to drop here. Now Joshua's going to go by Samuel Reed. Samuel Reed stuck on that high side, very slow. Chris Evans gets by him, as well as the 4 of Tyler Street. We now have Josh Whiteman getting to the rear bumper of Samuel Reed. He's going to look to go by on the inside now as well. We've got some battles up for third. Jonathan Dominics in that 45 car. He came out of nowhere. Takes over third position from Byron Gay. Now Chris Evans working to the inside of Byron. He's going jump back in line as the 4 of Tyler Street tries to make a move on Chris Evans. And I apologize. I am doing my best with these names. Whole new list of names to learn tonight. And the 20 cars in the wall. I believe the 56 got into the wall there as well. So we talked about maybe some short runs and some longer runs in the pre-race interviews as well. We're getting a very long run. Tires are going to be important on that long run, and I do not think the 56 of Samuel Reed was able to save the tires for the long run. Go back, take a look at Joshua Whiteman. He is trying to make that low side work for him as he's closing the gap on the 17 of Josh Edmonds. We're going to ride along with him. Joshua really trying to make that low line work for him. Josh Whiteman now to the inside of Joshua Edmonds. Still in control of this race is Seth LaCroix. He has now got a 2.5 second lead over Joseph Truskowski back there in second. So we've now got it sorted out back in the pack. 35 laps or 36 laps in the books. A lot of green flag racing here. We're looking at the battle for 7th yet again. Joshua Edmonds trying to take 7th back from Josh Whiteman. And we're going to step aside for another word from our sponsors.
I'm Dr. Felter Snatch from the Helping Hand Clinic in downtown Arcadia, Florida. Do you have a friend, loved one, or coworker who suffers from erectile dysfunction? Well, first, I'd like to know, why do you know your coworker has erectile dysfunction? That's another question for another court case. Anyway, we can cure erectile dysfunction without drugs, without therapy, without inpatients. All it takes is simple diet and exercise. The tricky part is getting her to diet and exercise. To find out more, come visit us down at the Helping Hand Clinic. We're located in a van behind Walmart, downtown Arcadia.
All right, and a big thank you to the Helping Hand Clinic for being a part of the Rebel Racing Network. A little bit questionable. I don't know if I'd use them, but hey, they gave us some money, so we'll run their commercial. And we're back racing. Joshua Edmonds still trailing Josh Whiteman. Josh Whiteman now able to drive away, and we've got Jonathan Dominics getting challenged by the 4 of Tyler Street. Tyler Street's going to go by on the inside. Tyler Street will complete that pass. Jonathan trying to close that gap back up. Now 40 laps in the books. I know these tires have got to be used up. Some of these guys are probably praying for a caution at the moment. One person who does not want to see a caution, though, Seth LaCroix. He is now up to over a 3-second lead over the rest of the field. That 4 of Tyler Street has now taken over third position. He is opening the gap on Jonathan Dominics. Tyler Street is now our biggest mover of the race, up 5 positions from when the race started. And it looks like Tyler was able to save some tires. You know, very conservative on his tire strategy and the pressure he's been putting on those tires, and he is working his way back up to the pack, or back up to the leaders. We'll take a look at our last lap times. Tyler Street just a 1/10 of a second faster than race leader Seth LaCroix. So on the long run, Tyler Street making that car work for him. He had the fastest lap last time by. It looks like we have some trouble with Chris Jones. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened there. He ends up off track. Oh. Looks like he was opting to take tires. Just got a little bit loose. Unsafe pit entry. That's going to be a black flag for Chris Jones. So some green flag pit stops happening now. We have Samuel Reed, Joshua Edmonds, and Chris Jones all on pit road. Samuel Reed, we saw him up front earlier. As that run went on, he started to drop a lot. Now that green flag pit stops are underway, Tyler Street is now sitting in second, looking to close the gap with Seth LaCroix. Almost a 4-second gap between the two. Joseph Truskowski on pit road now. As well as Josh Whiteman. Seth LaCroix continuing to stay out, as well as Tyler Street. Seth is opening the gap back up on Tyler Street. Now Scott Leonard on pit lane. He drives off. A lot of cars going to fall a lap down. Seth LaCroix, Tyler Street, Jonathan Dominics, Chris Evans, and Byron Gay all still have not pitted. And the question here is, when do you decide to pit? You cannot... You're going to need to take tires at some point during this race. With it all spaced out, who knows if we're going to get another caution. You're going to have no option but to pit under green flag. We've got second place Tyler Street heading down pit lane now. We've seen him be very fast on that long run. He's going to take new tires. He was not letting Seth LaCroix pull away from him. The real trick is going to be staying on the lead lap here. Seth LaCroix now heading down pit lane. Tyler Street is off pit lane. We're going to see if he can make his way around and maybe close the gap between him and Seth. And we have a new race leader. Joseph Truskowski has taken over the race lead from Seth LaCroix. Joseph Truskowski pitted a lot earlier than Seth. Got to run a couple laps on new tires while Seth was still on old tires. He made up the time, enough time to allow him to get back to the lead. Seth is going to find himself now 7 seconds back from the leader. Tyler Street now in second. 5 seconds back from the leader. Take a look at everyone's pit lane time. Most everyone taking around 45 seconds on pit lane. Chris Evans really quick on pit lane only spent 38 seconds there. Tyler Street spent 1 less second on pit lane than Joseph Truskowski. We saw him close the gap on the long run before. We're going to see if he can close the gap again on Joseph. But Joseph is pulling away. Once those tires get warm for Tyler Street, though, he should have no problem catching up to Truskowski. Truskowski, once again, pitted a lot earlier. Will be on older tires. So this cycle of green flag pit stops has been completed. Our lineup as it stands: Joseph Truskowski in first, Tyler Street in second, Seth LaCroix in third, Jonathan Dominics in fourth, Samuel Reed in fifth, Chris Evans in sixth, Josh Whiteman in seventh, Byron Gay in eighth, Joshua Edmonds in ninth, Terrell Wheeler in 10th, 11th, 1 lap down is Chris Jones, Scott Leonard in 12th, and Christopher Foote in 13th. He is out of the race. We now have 60 laps in the books. This race is half over. Halfway over. We've got a battle for second now between Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix. We're going to go take a look at that. Saw Seth very fast at the beginning of this race. He's going to keep that speed up, get by Tyler Street. Tyler Street gives him a little shot in the back there. He tries to get back to the inside, but as fast as Seth was before, I don't know if he's going to have anything for him. Seth now looking to drive away. He is also closing that gap with Joseph Truskowski. LaCroix only a 10th faster than Truskowski that last lap. We're going to see if... I don't think he's going to have enough time at that pace. He's going to have to pick it up. 4/10 faster that time by Truskowski on older tires. So, and once again, our inaugural race, a lot of new faces here. I want to see some new faces in the chat as well. Anyone tuning in, type in the chat. Let me know who you're rooting for. Seth LaCroix slowly closing that gap on Joseph Treskowski. We're going to see if he can get there before the end of the race. We're going to step aside for a word from our sponsors and come right back to this battle.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly loud, race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, and we are back. Big thank you to Hoorah Flyovers. We're still looking at the 29 of Seth LaCroix as he tries to close the gap on Joseph Treskowski, running over half a second faster each time by. He has picked up that pace and looking to take back control of this race. The gap has now closed to 3.5 seconds between the two. We're going to go back, look at Byron Gate in the 20 car and the 56 of Samuel Reed. Some close racing here. Now we watched Samuel on that first green flag, or first half of this green flag run. He used up his tires pretty quick and started dropping. It looks like he's going to, already used up those tires as well. He thought about heading down pit lane, thought better of it. He's going to stay out as we come down to 30 to go. Oh, we got Dakota Dennis in the chat. What is up, Dakota? Glad to see you tuning in. A little bit weird not having you in the booth or running race control with me tonight, but glad you still tuned in. All right, and that 56 of Samuel Reed's going to opt to come down pit lane this time by. Get some new tires. It might be a little bit too late in the race to be thinking about pitting under green. As the leaders are going by him, putting him a lap down. Joseph Treskowski still in control of this one, but that gap is closing between him and Seth LaCroix. Go ahead and ride along with Seth. Seth making that outside line work for him. The gap is now under 2 seconds. 30 laps to close the gap and take back control of this race. Seth only 0.2 faster than Joseph that time by. We've got the 56 of Samuel Reed back on track with fresh tires. He is 2 laps down, though. Samuel now looking to take a lap back from the leader, Joseph Truskowski. This is not something Joseph wants to see. That's going to have to take him off his line, dirty up that air in front of him, and allow Seth to close that gap even more. Seth now down to a second back. We also have Tyler Street right on Seth's tail. Once again, Tyler Street, we saw it in that first stint as the run went on. He got faster. He is closing back in with Seth LaCroix. If I'm Tyler Street, I've got to be sitting there just, you know, don't let him get too far ahead, but let the 29 of Seth LaCroix get to the rear bumper of Joseph Truskowski and let them race each other. Seth's looking to the inside. Not able to make a move yet there. He's looking for an opening there. Seth made some contact with the outside wall as Tyler dives down to his inside. They're going to drag race down the backstretch. Tyler completes the pass. Joseph Truskowski only with a half-second lead over these two. Right, and Tyler Street has now caught the leader. He's got newer tires. Let's see what he's going to do with them. Right on his back bumper. He's going to go low going into turn 3. He is there. Truskowski's in the outside wall. Tyler goes by him. That also opens up the door for LaCroix. LaCroix's going to go back on the go by Truskowski on the outside and try and reel that number 4 of Street back in. Sweet Comb, Chicago Beard Balms, Oils, and Soap. Dakota, I've still waiting on my product from them, but I've heard great things about them, Dakota. I will look at trying to get them on board as a sponsor, though. So we come down to 20 to go. We're going to step aside for one more commercial break. And one more word from our sponsors. Then we're going to take you to the checkered flag.
Ed Pinkley here. Pinkley Motors, downtown Arcadia, Florida. I want to invite y'all to come on test drive one of our Pinkley F-150s. Or y'all come on down, you can test drive yourself a Pinkley Mustang. Or better yet, you can come out and check out one of our most popular models we have, the Pinkley Taurus. Everybody loves a Pinkley Taurus for some odd reason. So come on down. We got screaming deals on Pinkley Tauruses. Take one for a drive. Give it a rub yourself. You'll see how much you love a Pinkley Taurus. But I tell you what, you better hurry. Because if your old lady finds out you've been using your neighbor's Pinkley Taurus, you're going to be in deep. So come on down. Pinkley Motors, downtown Arcadia. Right next to the Helping Hand Clinic in the van behind Walmart.
All right, and we are back. That is our last commercial break. Tyler Street still in control of this one. He has opened up that gap on Seth LaCroix almost a half a second. Tyler Street, also our biggest mover of the race, up 7 positions from where he started back in 8th. Tyler Street's continuing to open up that gap over Seth LaCroix. Seth LaCroix very dominant through the first half of this race, but the second half, it has been all Tyler Street. Joseph Truskowski now, after trying to hold off those two, Street and LaCroix, he is now 2.5 seconds behind Street. Seth continuing to lose ground to Tyler Street. Now almost a second gap between the two. Tyler Street is driving away with this. Street is just so good on these long runs. And in 4th place, haven't talked about him much recently, Jonathan Dominics. In that 45 car, he is almost 10 seconds back from the leader. Chris Evans, our outside pole sitter. Troubles early on in this race for him. He sits in 5th. He has driven his way back up towards the front and is looking to salvage a top 5 finish out of this. As we come down to 10 to go, Tyler Street still opening that gap over Seth LaCroix. Now 9 to go. I tell you what, it has been green flag all night long with one exception. I don't want to jinx it, but Tyler Street does not want to see a yellow flag here. He is pulled away from the pack. Saved his tires through the first run, saved his tires through the second run, and is dominating this race. Tyler Street's last lap, almost a second faster than Seth LaCroix's. Seth taps the outside wall. That's not going to help him. Looks like Seth has used up those tires trying to hang up there with Street. We're back looking at the battle for 6th between Byron Gay and Josh Whiteman. Byron Gay in that 20 car, Josh Whiteman in the 24. Josh is trying to close that gap. Gets a great run down low. Right to Byron Gay's back bumper. Byron Gay's going to go high here. Go low here. Josh stays high. That gap opens back up. Byron Gay's in the wall. That's going to open up the door for Whiteman. Whiteman to the inside. He's going to hop back up, complete the pass, hop back in front of Gay. Gay taps the wall again. Now Whiteman's going to drive away from Gay, so they make their way through around lap traffic. We're coming down to 3 to go now. Tyler Street's still in control of this. Now with a 3.5 second lead. Two to go. Tyler Street now in turns 3 and 4. Once he takes that white flag, the next flag ends the race. White flag is out. 1 to go. Tyler Street in control of this. Coming up on lap traffic. At lap traffic, the 19 of Scott Leonard just going to move low. Let the leader by. Coming off of turn 4. Checkered flag is out. Tyler Street wins the shootout at Kansas. Seth LaCroix will come home second. Joseph Truskowski in third. Chris Evans in fourth. Jonathan Dominick's in fifth. Josh Whiteman in 6th, Byron Gay in 7th, Samuel Reed in 8th, Terrell Wheeler in 9th, and Joshua Edmonds will round out your top 10. All right, and we're going to try and interview the top 3. I have not seen Truskowski in the Discord, so we may not get an interview with him. So we will start with the 29 of Seth LaCroix. Seth, it is Austin up here in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. You dominated the first half of this race. What happened in the second? We saw you get by Tyler Street, and then he came back and passed you again.
Yeah, so if you back up to my pit, I blew the entry, so I slowed down, but I knew I wasn't going to make it, so I had to bypass, and I probably cost myself about, I don't know, 7-8 seconds of track time, so getting back up to speed, then having to pit the next lap. So then, by the time I did pit, I felt like I just had to go, full tilt to catch the leader, and so I passed Tyler, never looked in my relative again to see if I had a threat coming. And I blew my tires off, and I look in my mirror, and Tyler's right back. I'm like, oh my God, where did he come from? And I had nothing left at the end. But my mess up on pit road definitely cost me for sure.
All right, that is a tough break. Luckily, not a points race tonight, so will not hurt your season. But you don't get to take home the bragging rights tonight. But you still got a podium finish. Before we let you get out of here, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, the whole league, man. It's very nice to be able to run some laps and under green flag, and the racing could have been with more drivers would have been more competitive, but it was very clean, and I look forward to more races.
All right, and we look forward to watching you all season. Have a good. You're welcome. Have a good night, buddy.
You too.
Once again, that was Seth LaCroix in the 29 car. He comes home second tonight. Now we're going to bring up Tyler Street, our race winner. Tyler, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me.
I do.
Congratulations. You won the shootout at Kansas. And we were just talking to Seth LaCroix. He said, where the hell did you come from? And I was asking myself the same thing.
I don't really know. I don't know if I've really had any laps here besides like truck races on officials, and I really did not know where the line was. But then I just started like watching and learning, and kind of found the top. I just kind of saved the tires and just found the top up there and kind of run it down a little bit and get the speed off the exit. And it was really surprised that actually was working for me. And when we had the green flag pits there, I saw Seth coming on the relatives, and I was just like, just let Seth go. Let him burn up the tires, because later on, I had, as the lap times in the first before the green, I had better lap times at the end, and my tires were really good. So I was just I kept being patient and waiting, and then Seth was really pulling away from me, and I was getting nervous there. So I picked up the pace a little bit, and times got a little bit better there at the end. So I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, we were watching you. It seemed like the longer the run went on, the more that car came to you. Was that your plan to save tires at the beginning of the race? Was that your plan coming in here?
A little bit, yes. Just because of, well, a little bit yes and no. I wasn't 100% sure that we were gonna go green like that. I did not expect that one bit. And then as we just kept going green there, I was just like, okay, I guess I just need to plan on saving tires and learn how to just kind of nice, easy on the throttle, nice, easy on the steering, and just kind of be patient and be smart about it.
All right. Well, it paid off for you tonight. Anyone you want to thank before we let you get on out of here and burn it down?
Gotta thank everybody that just puts this league together. This is awesome. Wonderful, good start to the league here, and there's some guys in here that are definitely tough for sure. So this is gonna be interesting, and Trail is doing a really good job of putting this together. And I know he's came to me for some stuff, just on some questions and that. And man, this is awesome. Can't thank everybody for this crew, and this is gonna be sick.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and we are excited here at the Rebel Racing Network to be here to broadcast it for you. Congratulations again tonight.
Thank you.
All right. And Joseph Truskowski has just entered the Discord. We're going to bring him up to the broadcast booth. He came home third tonight. Joseph, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, you came home third tonight. We were looking for you a little bit earlier to get an interview. Take us, tough break. You pitted a lot earlier than the top two. What did you think when you saw them coming in your mirror?
Oh, well, I thought I had a pretty good gap there. I thought my strategy was going to work out, but I probably should have waited a little after halfway. I was initially thinking pit a little before and make it last, but man, the wear was just too much and they really hung me down. So it is what it is.
Yep, you still got a podium out of it. So, is that going to affect your planning for strategy, as the season goes on?
Yeah, just maybe thinking about when I should pit a little bit more before the race. Well, we had no yellows either, so just all depends.
Yep. So, but congratulations on a podium finish. You will be one that we're going to keep an eye on as the season goes on. Anyone you want to thank before we let you get out of here?
Thanks to the league administration, anybody, you guys, putting on a good show. Hopefully throughout the season.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. So we'll
All right, thank you.
let you go celebrate your podium.
Thanks.
All right. And once again, that was Joseph Truskowski. He comes home third tonight. And we're going to take a look at our official results. We had Tyler Street coming home in first, taking the win for the shootout at Kansas. Seth LaCroix in second. Joseph Truskowski in third. Chris Evans comes home fourth. Great recovery from his troubles early on in the race. Jonathan Dominics in fifth. Josh Whiteman in sixth. Byron Gay in seventh. Samuel Reed finishes eighth. Terrell Wheeler, our league owner, comes home ninth. Joshua Edmonds in 10th. Scott Leonard in 11th. Chris Jones in 12th. And Christopher Foote out of the race in 13th. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for tuning into the broadcast on YouTube and bearing with me as I try and learn everyone's names. And I'm going to ask everyone, please like, subscribe, follow on YouTube, and go check out our Facebook page, Rebel Racing Network on Facebook. Please go like, subscribe, follow there. Our goal is to be able to bring these races live to Facebook as well, but we cannot do it until we reach 100 followers. So please go help us do that so we can bring these races to Facebook. I would also like to thank the National Outlaw Racing Association for bringing us on board to broadcast their Cup Series as well as their ARCA Series. Once again, their ARCA Series is going to be running on Monday nights. We will be right back here tomorrow night for that. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you guys back here tomorrow night.